All right, we begin with this question. Will Bible worship be widespread before Christ returns? What do you think? Yes? Got some puzzled looks. Be a worldwide phenomenon. Bible worship. No, we're getting a head shaking no, we're getting a head shaking no. Okay, so we got head shaking yes, head shaking no. Okay, this is good. All right, so we know there will be much beast worship at the end, right? Revelation 13:8 says, all who dwell on earth will worship him, the beast, or the king of the north, number 3, whose names have not been written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. The Father and Jesus have determined, when they wrote prophecy, to allow false Bible worship to come to world dominance before trumpet number 7. Now it doesn't look like it, because if you don't understand what beast, God calls this guy beast. If you lived in Hitler's day, in World War II, or if you've seen any of the Hitler movies, right, you would call Hitler a beast, especially once we found out what he was doing with the 6 million Jews that he exterminated, right? So Revelation 13:2, now the beast which I saw was like a leopard. The dragon, that's Satan, gave him his power, his throne, and great authority. So can you imagine how a person, a human being, would be different from the average human beings if Satan the devil gave him authority and his power and his throne? Now I can't explain that to you. How he gets his throne, I don't know, but he does. Verse 4, so they worshiped the dragon, that's Satan. So there's going to be a mass world worship of Satan, who gave authority to the beast power, the king of the north, number 3, and they worship the beast, saying, now you can understand how they would worship the beast. And how many of you have seen movies of Hitler? Anybody seen Hitler on, right? Remember the crowds, massive, huge crowds. Hail Hitler! Hail Hitler! It was like, oh, oh, you know, and the crowd is almost, you know, fainting because it's just so electric. And some of the generals that worked with Hitler, they felt like he was demon possessed. It's like, if he got angry at you, you were in serious trouble. You didn't want to be in the room, because he, you know, and a lot of people think he was demon possessed. So they worshiped Satan. He gave authority to the beast. They worshiped the beast, saying, who is like the beast? Who can make war with him? Now, I think this verse refers to after trumpet number 6. If you remember trumpet number 6, he destroys 1/3 of mankind. Just think of what a horror that is. Now, in World War II, 50 million people died. That's a lot of people. But in this case, prophecy tells us that the beast will be responsible for killing 1/3 of what's left of mankind. There were wars before that happens. So we're not talking about 7 billion people, we're talking less than 7 billion people. Okay, Revelation 13:6. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God. So you would think, wait, if this great beast power is blaspheming God, then this is not Bible worship, right? To blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and those who dwell in heaven, it was granted to him to make war with the saints. Okay, wait a minute. This worship of the beast is making war with God's people, the saints. So how can this be Bible worship, right? Okay, and he has authority given to him over every tribe and every tongue, and all who dwell on earth will worship him. So it's a massive worship thing, right? So we see most of the world worshiping Satan and the beast king. So question, will this be Bible-based worship system? And Jesus tells us, yes, it will. Right? In Matthew 24:23, he says, if anyone says to you, you've got to read this slow, you miss it. If anyone says to you, look, here is the Christ. Now, 2,000 years ago, Jesus tells people, and they write it down, and it's been in Scripture now for 2,000 years, and he says, I'm going to tell you about the end times. And when people come up to you and say, here is the Christ, what does the Christ mean? The Christ means the Genesis to Revelation prophesied return of Jesus, the Messiah, Christ, to planet Earth, right? So he's saying, when they tell you, here is the Christ, it's the Christ of the Bible. God calls him the beast, but the world will call him Jesus Christ. It's a fake worship system. And then Jesus says, when they say this, do not believe it, right? This is protection against getting tricked into a false system. Matthew 24:24. For false Christs and false prophets will arise and show great signs and wonders to deceive, if possible, even the elect. If they're weakened, they can be deceived. How many of you think there have already been the elect of Jesus Christ already deceived? Look at that. Yeah. Without any miracles. No miracles. Just the leader of the church told them a false teaching. So Matthew 24:25. Jesus says, see, or listen carefully, I have told you before it happens. He's told us 2,000 years before it has happened, and it hasn't happened yet, but it's going to happen soon. So we can know for certain it will happen. They will say, here is the Christ. So we can plan on it in our head that people in the world will accept an early fake Christ lookalike. Around this world they have Elvis lookalikes. Some of them are really good. They really look like and sound like Elvis. But we all know it's not Elvis, don't we? Anybody seen Elvis lately? Elvis died. It's not Elvis. It's an Elvis lookalike, right? Okay, Matthew 24:26. Therefore, if they say to you, look, he's in the desert, do not go out. Or, look, he's in inner rooms, do not believe it. Now, is it okay when this happens for you to go out in the desert and take a peek? Is that okay? No, because he said, don't go. Why? Because you might get tricked with miracles and lying wonders. He says, don't go, right? Do not go out. Now, how do you know? What if it's the real Christ? Well, he's going to tell us how you will know the real Christ versus the early fake Christ. Is it easy to convert Church of God people to believing the Quran? Is that easy? No, that's not easy, because the Quran is nothing like the Bible, right? Okay, is it easy to convert Church of God people to a different view of the Bible? It happens all the time, doesn't it, right? So it's a Bible worship system. It's a fake Bible worship system, and people can, if the elect, if possible, if they're weak in condition, they can be deceived by the fake Genesis to Revelation Bible teaching. Jesus tells us the abominable one will be standing or established in or abiding in the holy place. Matthew 24:15. Therefore, when you see the abomination of desolation, or the abominable one who makes desolation, because he is going to destroy Jerusalem, he's going to destroy the Israeli army, he's going to make desolation, spoken of by Daniel, standing or established in the holy place. This is the Genesis to Revelation Bible holy place in Jerusalem. Right? This is where it is. Now, if it isn't a Bible-based system, why would it be happening? Why would they call him the Christ? Why would it be in the holy place on the Temple Mount in Jerusalem? Right? Because that's where Christ is coming to. Everybody in the Bible who studies their Bible knows Christ is coming to what city? Anacoca, Louisiana? No. New York City? No. To Jerusalem. That's where he's coming to. Paul describes how the beast presents himself in 2 Thessalonians 2:4, starting verse 3. Let no one deceive you, so of course it's going to be very deceiving, by any means that day will not come unless there's a falling away first, and the man of sin is revealed and the son of perdition. Verse 4, who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called God. Now, you know, this person, Hitler didn't say that he was God. He just acted like he was God, right? Okay, so this person's going to exalt himself above all that's called God and that is worshipped, so that he sits as if he is God in the temple or the shrine of God, the holy place, Temple Mount, right? Showing himself that he is God. And the world will believe it. And Jesus said, when it happens, don't believe it. Don't go. Don't give it any thought, because I haven't come yet. All this takes place in the Bible's holy city, Jerusalem. Jesus uses Daniel to describe this beast power worship scene in Daniel 11:31. Forces will be mustered by him, the beast, and they shall defile the sanctuary fortress. Then they'll take away the daily sacrifices. Daily sacrifices have not yet begun in Jerusalem. They are prepared and they are planned to begin as soon as they get permission from the government. They're ready to start morning and evening sacrifices. They do not have the permission of the Israeli government, because it'll start a war in the Middle East, right? So, but this shows they will have started and they will be stopped by the setting up of the abomination of desolation in the holy place. So in Daniel 11:36, then the king will do according to his own will, and he shall exalt and magnify himself above every god, and shall speak blasphemies against God of gods, and shall prosper till the wrath has been accomplished. So he's going to magnify himself and call himself Christ. He's going to be wounded unto death and then re-emerge, like Jesus died and then was resurrected. That's going to happen. And the world is going to say, that's got to be God. The world is going to believe that he's God. He's going to be sitting in the shrine or the temple of God. Verse 37, he will regard neither the God of his fathers nor any God, for he shall exalt himself above them all. Because Satan has given him his power and his throne and his authority. And this guy is like Hitler on steroids. And he will be saying, I'm Jesus Christ. And the world will believe it, except a handful of the elect who say, we read what Jesus said, and he said, when this happens, don't believe it, because it's not the true Jesus. Jesus shows how to prepare for the great Bible-based deception. First, we should expect the Bible-based false Christ to rule the world before Jesus comes to the earth. Second, only accept the white horse in the sky, Jesus. Right? So, it's going to be pretty obvious. It's like, hey, psst, Facebook, telephone, quick, Jesus is here. I didn't see him. Oh yeah, he's out here in the desert, or he's over there, or he's someplace. But I didn't see him. What do you mean you didn't see him? I didn't see him coming down in the sky on a white horse. Well, how do you know that? Revelation 19:11. Now I saw heaven open and a white horse, and he who sat on him was called Faithful and True. Who's that? Who's called faithful and true? Jesus, right? And in righteousness he judges and makes war. Who is this rider on the white horse going to make war with? The beast power, the false Jesus, who set up a world-ruling government, and people say, who can make war with him, because he's killed a third of mankind, he's in total control of planet Earth. Who can make war with him? Jesus can make war with him. Verse 13, and he was clothed in a robe dipped with blood, and his name was called the Word of God. Who's called the Word of God in the Bible? Jesus, right? Verse 14, and the armies in heaven, clothed in fine linen, white and clean, followed him on white horses. All right, so if somebody says, hey, Jesus is here, you go, I didn't see that. What do you mean you didn't see it? Well, I didn't see Jesus on a white horse coming down from the sky, leading millions maybe of angels riding on white horses. There's got to be some great scene. I'm surprised Cecil B. DeMille, is he still alive? Anyhow, I'm surprised somebody hasn't made a movie of this, because this is really something. Now the humans will think, invasion from Mars. we humans are smart. We will figure how to beat those white horses. Except it's Jesus, you can't beat him, right? So they follow him on white horses. And so this is a Bible-based worship system that is coming to planet Earth before the true Jesus comes to Earth. And we'll know that because we haven't yet seen him coming on white horses. So in simple terms, do not worship a visible Christ person before you see the white